The volume and complexity of scientific data being generated today is unprecedented. But for many labs, that growth hasn't been matched by progress in how that data is accessed, organized, and used. Despite the presence of digital infrastructure, researchers often find themselves working around limitations, exporting files to external tools, reconstructing context manually, or relying on others to retrieve or interpret data. This disconnect between data collection and data usability reflects the limitations of many current data management tools, and it points to the need for a different approach. Scientific data management systems, or SDMS, were originally developed to centralize and archive laboratory data. These systems perform important functions like file storage, metadata tagging, and data retention for compliance. However, many of these tools were not designed to support scientific workflows or exploratory research. In practice, traditional laboratory data management systems often operate as passive repositories. Data may be stored securely, but it's rarely accessible in a way that supports real-time analysis or in-context decision-making. Visualizing results, comparing datasets, or linking experimental inputs to outcomes often requires exporting files into separate tools, adding friction and increasing the likelihood of error. For some labs, this has led to a reliance on a combination of SDMS, spreadsheets, shared drives, and manual tracking to manage critical research data. The result is fragmented data systems that are difficult to scale and harder to trust. The landscape of lab work has changed. Researchers today must handle more diverse data types, structured and unstructured, quantitative and qualitative, spanning everything from sequencing outputs to cell imaging and real-time instrument data. At the same time, expectations for speed, reproducibility, and collaboration have grown. Lab data management software must evolve accordingly. It needs to do more than store files. It must support multiple data types and experimental formats, maintain links between raw data, metadata, and experimental context, enable scientists to access, view, and analyze data without external processing, support open data interfaces to simplify the process of unifying data from multiple sources or exporting it in real time, offer flexibility to accommodate different disciplines, workflows, and users, ensure traceability, version control, and audit readiness. In other words, modern laboratory data management software needs to support not just data logistics, but also scientific interpretation. One proposed shift is toward what some are calling a science-aware approach to data management. A science-aware system differs from conventional laboratory data management systems in that it incorporates domain knowledge directly into how data is handled and presented. These systems are designed with the understanding that scientific data isn't just a collection of files, it's a reflection of workflows, samples, instruments, protocols, and results. In this model, laboratory data is ingested with metadata that links it to experimental design, visualized using built-in scientific viewers so results can be assessed in place, searchable not just by file name but by a range of criteria such as sample ID or result, integrated across studies, systems, modalities, and departments without needing to leave the platform. Rather than acting as an archive, the system supports active, ongoing exploration of scientific data closer to the way scientists actually work. While the science-aware model may still be evolving, labs that adopt this kind of approach tend to report improvements across a few areas. Data accessibility. Scientists can locate and understand data without relying on third-party tools or extensive reprocessing. Workflow efficiency. Connecting data to its source eliminates time spent reconstructing context. Collaboration. When data is consistently annotated and visualized in-platform, teams can more easily share results and reproduce analysis. Reduced overhead. The need for redundant tools, such as separate laboratory data analysis software, decreases when key capabilities are integrated. Ease of reporting. This is important for performance monitoring, diagnostic reporting, audits, compliance, and workflow monitoring. Importantly, this doesn't mean replacing everything in the lab with a single system, but it does suggest that systems used for lab data management should be aligned with how science is done, not just how files are stored. There are already platforms today that combine elements of a traditional SDMS with integrated scientific functionality, bridging the gap between storage and insight. Some systems now allow users to perform standard visualizations, explore lineage relationships, and search across experimental variables from within the same environment used to store and manage the data. This reduces the need for constant exporting, reformatting, and external processing. Ideally, advanced systems also store data according to the FAIR principles of data management, making sure it is findable, accessible, interoperable, and reusable. The result isn't necessarily a dramatic change in what data is collected, but in how easily that data can be used. It can also help ensure the data is stored and organized in such a way that means it can be used with AI models, whether training them or for analysis. Instead of having to reconstruct an experiment to reanalyze a result, researchers can often revisit the data in place with full context preserved. This enhances reproducibility, shortens time to insight, and allows labs to make better use of the information they already generate. The demands placed on lab data systems have outgrown the capabilities of traditional SDMS solutions. As the volume, variety, and importance of scientific data continue to grow, labs need systems that not only manage data, but also support the work of doing science. This doesn't mean abandoning current infrastructure, but it may mean reevaluating whether the systems in use today are helping or hindering the lab's ability to move quickly, collaborate effectively, and produce reproducible, high-quality research. The science-aware approach represents one path forward, where lab data management software is designed not just to store, but to serve the needs of scientists. Ultimately, modern data management needs to enable the lab to make faster decisions, collaborate fluidly, and improve productivity. To learn more about lab informatics, take a look at the other videos in this series.